The pyramids, an archaeological mystery. Built over 4,500 years ago, the grand structures in Egypt were a feat of human strength, even impressive to this day. But what if it wasn't human strength that got them done after all? What if it was aliens? Hello and welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions, the channel that looks to answer a whole slew of queries. Why? Because why not? We believe that every question deserves an answer. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today I'm asking, what if aliens built the pyramids? Again, why not? Before we get into this video, I want to ask you guys how you think the pyramids were built. Was it aliens or clever ancient workers? And if aliens did it, why did they leave? Also, while you're down there in the comment section, why don't you leave a thumbs up on this video and share it with a friend that loves a good tinfoil hat? Also, be sure to check out the links in the description to the people that went into making this video, and stick around to the end to hear some comments. Okay, the pyramids of Giza. Whopping great structures, the biggest of which is the Great Pyramid of Giza. It is 480 feet tall and made up of over 2.5 million heavy blocks. We suspect that they were built 4.5 millennia ago. But why? Well, we don't know. And how? Well, again, we just don't know. We have theories for both of those questions, one of the more ridiculous being aliens. But when you think about it, when you examine the facts, is it really ridiculous? So the pyramids are weirdly mathematical. They align perfectly with the River Nile, near perfectly with the magnetic North Pole, and astrologically speaking, they align with the brightest visible stars to us on Earth. On top of that, the southern shaft of the inner chamber of the Great Pyramid points to the constellation Orion, which is linked to the Egyptian god Osiris. At this point in history, there is no way humans could have created this on purpose. While ancient Egyptians did have some grasp of astronomy, it was in its infancy as a practice. Continuing the weird math, it seems that if you divide the parameter of the Great Pyramid by the sum of twice its height, you get pi, to an accuracy of 15 numbers. Now, this is super weird because the Egyptians wouldn't even learn about pi for another 2,000 more years, and even then, they kinda got it wrong. The correct calculation of pi was not calculated to the first 7 digits until the 5th century AD. One more weird example of strange math, the coordinates of the Great Pyramids are 29.9792458 degrees north. The speed of light is 299,792,458 meters per second. So is this coincidence? Or is this aliens? What's going on with those digits? Aliens seem as good an answer as any, especially when it comes to understanding how pyramids were built in just 20 years, when the manpower and tech available at the time suggests it should have taken closer to 600 years. So if aliens did build the pyramids, then where did they come from and where did they go? Where did they come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Just why not? A quick Google of alien pyramids will flash up news sites such as the Daily Express or Fox claiming that pyramid structures have been seen on Mars. And of course, the Egyptian Sphinx has been linked to the infamous face on Mars. But if aliens who built the pyramids are living on Mars, then why have we never found them? What was Spirit and Opportunity doing roving around all that time if it wasn't discovering Martians? Perhaps the speed of light calculation is a clue that they can travel fast and far. Perhaps on their working vacation to planet Earth, they stopped off on Mars on their way home. Could be. But where are they now? Well, maybe they're waiting. Maybe there's a clue in the pyramid that says when they will return. Maybe the pyramids have a function that we don't know about yet. Perhaps they'll open up one day and become a portal to another dimension. Maybe they've been harnessing the power of the stars they're aligned to. Perhaps a clue lays in the void. We have never gone inside the pyramids for fear of destroying the structure, or maybe for fear of what we might find. But in January 2018, the Scan Pyramids mission used technology to literally scan the structures, and they found a strange empty space right above the Grand Gallery. Is this a clue to the aliens who left us behind? But whoa there. How can aliens have created the pyramids? Ancient civilizations at that time were documenting events and they had their own language. So why aren't there any references to visitors from the skies? Well, some conspiracists say that people mistook aliens for gods, and that actually the ancient gods mentioned in scripture in hieroglyphics were actually extraterrestrials, which may explain why the Egyptian gods look so weird. Maybe maybe aliens did build the pyramids. Some tabloids were circulating images of so-called UFOs flying over the pyramids in March 2017. Maybe they were doing a flyby to check on how things were going. But then again, maybe not. If aliens did build the pyramids, then we are very misguided about our history. Maybe it would help us clear up the mystery of Stonehenge and who built the Easter Island heads, but let's be honest, there really is about as much evidence of aliens building the pyramids as there is dolphins doing it. What is more likely is that actually, ancient civilizations were a bit better at life than we give them credit for. Suggesting that aliens did it kind of downplays the integrity of the ancient Egyptians. Perhaps they had some ye olde smarts that were lost in the fire of the Great Library of Alexandria, or aliens. Just cause. So what if aliens built the pyramids? What do you think? Do you think that aliens did it? Are the pyramids waiting to activate at the dawn of the War of the Worlds? Or do you think that people did it and we need to dig a little deeper for answers? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Also, once again, if you enjoyed this video, please do show me by leaving a thumbs up and sharing it with a friend. And also, take this time to click on that big, beautiful notification bell. Before I get out of here, I want to read some comments from a previous video, which in some ways is related. I asked, what if Scientology was real? Russell said, we'd all be bending the knee to Xenu. Wouldn't we just? Clay Talman said, what if Rebecca became Queen of the World? All hail Queen Rebecca. Well, that is flattering, and for a second I could really get on board with it. I would like a throne and I love me a crown, but I do think that being Queen of the World would be quite stressful. I'd rather just be Queen of, I don't know, snacks? For balance, we had a comment from Kayla Kokorin, who said, this is nonsense already, less than halfway through. She doesn't know the definition of thetan or how to pronounce it. In fact, this seems to confirm that she's only read stuff on it, and not by the church. Maybe she's just watched John Sweeney, who also seems to misprint and pronounce thetan. Also, our commenter linked us to the Scientology website and said that actually, this is Scientology's real definition. You can decide for yourself if it's real. She also said another core concept of Scientology is observing and experiencing for yourself. It's only true if it's true for you. Do you know what, Kayla? I really agree with you. I mentioned at the beginning and the end of the video that Scientology is as real as people want it to be. I do welcome constructive criticism like this, so thank you very much for writing in. Okay guys, thank you once again for watching this video. Do leave a comment for your chance to be featured in the future. For now, I am checking out of here. Thank you for watching this video. I'm your host, Rebecca Felgate. I'll catch you in the next one, but until then, stay curious, stay alert, and never ever stop questioning.